Hey YouTube, RicoKnows here. I'm currently working on all my UFC stuff. You guys can see some of these tabs up. I do all the fights and I'm getting ready for UFC 300 and giving my predictions. Shout out to all the MVPs. But while I was working on it, I kept getting these DMs, whether it was on TikTok or it was on Twitter. I was getting these DMs and they're saying, Rico, is Coach Prime leaving Colorado? Is Coach Prime leaving Colorado? And I'm like, where is this coming from? Why are we talking like this? And the guy says, come on, man, his daughter's leaving, so he's leaving. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So, yes, I saw a story about Shelomi, and I apologize if I don't say her name correctly, but Shelomi Sanders jumping in the transfer portal. But if I'm being real with you guys, I saw it on April 1st. So I thought it was an April Fool's joke, and I didn't put much effort into it. I just left it alone. I'm cool. I'm going to keep it moving. But apparently, she's jumping in the transfer portal. And that's a red flag to a lot of people. Oh my God, if your daughter's leaving and doesn't want to be there, she wants to go off and run off and maybe get some independence and go do her own thing. Or it's a precursor. She knows dad's not going to be here next year. I might as well get a jump on it and get moving. Right? Now, that's all cool and everything. But no one reacted this way when Gunnar Gundy jumped in the transfer portal. Gunnar Gundy jumped in the transfer portal at Oklahoma State after being the starting quarterback. Did you guys all of a sudden think his dad was going to leave? Or did you go, oh my God, I think he's transferring to Ohio. And then he pulled out of the portal and now nobody knows where he's going. I think he's going to Emporia, but that's a whole nother conversation. Where's he going to go? No one once said, I think my Gundy's leaving Oklahoma State. Nobody talked like that. So I want everybody to pump their brakes real quick. Now, is Coach Prime going to leave Colorado? He could. I mean, he has every right to. His two sons will be graduating by then, or at least they'll be departing, going to the NFL. What reason to stay? All this other stuff, right? Travis Hunter will be gone. But I want to just remind everybody that money talks. So I won't sit here and try to guess at where Coach Prime is going to be next year, whether it be Colorado or somewhere else. I can just tell you that money talks. And if you want to try to guess what's going to happen in the future, all you have to do is look at the past, right? Past conduct, past behavior is a great indicator of future behavior. That's in every walk of life. So if you did that, then Coach Prime will probably go to the highest bidder, if it happens. If there's somebody out there willing to pay for the buyout, if there's somebody out there willing to increase his job, like why wouldn't you take a higher paying job? So I'm not going there. This to me by itself, individually, is not an indicator that Coach Prime is leaving the school. I can see the Denver Post has a reporter. They have a guy in here and his name is Sean Keller, and he's saying this is a reason. This could be. We have to ask the question, is what he's saying. Now, I don't want people to jump into my comments and start attacking me. Rico doesn't know. Listen, I'm not making any prediction in this regard. My real prediction is I would tell you that Coach Prime looks like he's putting together a coaching staff that has a great Florida pipeline. Does that mean he's going to be the next Florida head coach? Does that mean Billy Napier shits the bed this year and all of a sudden Coach Prime gets hired at Florida? Something like that, right? That seems realistic. I'm looking at Florida State. Nope, no coaching opportunity there. Miami, nothing. But then there's South Florida. There's UCF. South Florida did a great job with their new head coach. UCF, FA. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to think about it from that perspective. But for me, I look at Coach Prime and some of the decisions he's been making and the moves he's making, and I just think, man, he's getting ready to either take over Florida or he's going to just keep winning right there in Colorado. Putting Coach Rispris in charge of all the recruiting and that strong Florida pipeline, that's a real huge indicator for me. Another one would be hiring George, right? George Egman here. This man, this offensive lineman coach from IMG, now turned, I don't know what he's called. I don't know what the title is. I don't give a shit. They're giving people a bunch of different titles. Coach Sapp showing up. Everybody's got different titles. I don't care. This right here solidifies, this move right here solidifies the pipeline to IMG or to all the other high schools in Florida. So for me, when you start making moves like this, you're either recreating your entire coaching staff and getting ready for a move, or you are solidifying pipelines and routes in Colorado. And the cupboard's not bare. There are really good, young, talented players. They're recruiting just fine. So for me, it doesn't feel like a move his daughter's leaving, so he's like, nah, man. Look, I studied the transfer portal. I study it every single day. I look at every single player, and I tell you guys this all the time. There are about 4 or 5 motives for jumping in the transfer portal. Reasons to jump in the transfer portal. About 4 or 5. Number 1, you want to increase your draft stock. Right? You're an FCS All-American, you jump in the transfer portal because you want to play at the FBS level. And you go to one of those blue bloods, one of those schools that's going to get you drafted. People transfer to get drafted. Happens a lot. Okay, that's a number 1 for me. That's one of the most prominent reasons or justifications for jumping in the transfer portal. Another one would be you're homesick, so you want to move closer to home. Number 3 would be my coach just got fired or got hired somewhere else, and I want to follow that coaching staff or that coaching scheme. We see it all the time because everybody gets a 30-day window after their coach moves. Whether they get hired, fired somewhere else, you get 30 days to figure out where you want to go. Kids are jumping in, athletes are jumping in, and they're following that coach, meaning they are transferring to chase a scheme or a coach, right? So that's one of the major reasons. The next one would probably be NIL. I'm transferring for money. I talked to a young man the other day. I thought so highly of him as a transfer, and as I was helping him with the process and we were going over it, I said, so what schools are you interested in? And he literally said, I just want to be able to help my mom. And I just thought, what the hell did you just say to me? You didn't even name any schools. You just want to go to the highest bidder. I was immediately, me personally, I don't get down like that. I was like, oh, man, I was turned off by it. But I understand these young kids, they just want to go. I can't relate because I don't have to do that, right? I've been turning down jobs for the last 2 years now, just turning down every job I can because I love what I'm doing. I like to sit in my house, create my content, and live life the way I do. Today, I took my girl to lunch because I felt like going to lunch. We went on a date, and it was a great day to be alive. I wasn't stressing. I wasn't staring at the clock. Oh, my God, I got to get back for lunch. Lunch break's almost over. I got to get back to the office. I'm never going to live that life. I was out there chilling, looking at the stars and shit. I'm serious. And it was daytime. So there you go. I was daydreaming, bro. I was relaxing. So my point is there's different reasons for transferring. And the very last one is you transfer for more playing time. And I know a lot of people assume that's why people transfer. For more playing time, because they don't want to compete. But I just gave you like 5 other scenarios and reasons why people transfer. And it has nothing to do with playing time. Unfortunately, in this situation, I think Shelomi probably wants to contribute on the court and go get some playing time somewhere. She is a former walk-on. And I saw somebody write and say, oh, since when do we talk about walk-ons in the transfer portal? This is everybody just making content about Colorado, trying to get clicks and trying to get clout. Bro, I talk about walk-ons in the transfer portal. Don't step to me. I talk about 100 walk-ons in the transfer portal. I never stop talking about walk-ons in the transfer portal. Preferred walk-ons looking for an offer. It's very common. But nonetheless, I think that's her case. I don't know if this is an indicator of Coach Prime departing. Some people have said, well, he's going to the NFL. I don't know about that. He's already said he's not. I'm not trying to predict the future. I just don't think it's that big of a smoking gun like others do. Your friends don't know. But Rico knows. Good luck, y'all.